4. Today we are here to resume the second session of the 55th legislature, and I wish to present to you a summary report of the first session, including the current state of the Senate governance and financial management practices. Legislation statistics summary from January to December 2024. Total legislation passed 27, ratifications 18, amendments 3, enactments 6, nominees confirmed 996, legislations in committee rooms 40. As a result of these reports, I wish to inform all committees that the agenda for the first 3 months will focus on all bills in committee rooms. All committees are required to report on a weekly basis as of Tuesday, January 21st, 2025, on bills in committee rooms. Failure to submit on 2 occasions will result in the setting up of ad hoc committees or committee of the whole to expedite these processes. The Secretary of the Senate will officially communicate to all relevant committees by tomorrow, January 14, 2025. Below are some of the 40 bills that are needed to be prioritized. An act to amend Chapter 31 of the Executive Law of 1972 to establish the Liberian Tourism Authority. An act to amend Title 30 of the Public Authority Law, Liberian Code of Laws revised to establish the Liberian National Tourism Authority. An act to rectify the protocol to the African Chapter on Human and People's Rights on the establishment of an African Court on Human and People's Rights. An act to establish the Liberian Technical and Vocational Education and Training TVET Commission. An act to establish the Liberia Capital Police, LCP 2024. Zoning Law of Liberia 2024. Presidential Transitional Act of 2024, Decent Work Act, Ellen Johnson Service Ministerial Complex, the Ministry of Local Government, and Act to amend Chapter 4, Section 4.2, 4.3, and 4.4 of the Criminal Procedure Law on Statute of Limitations, the election laws, and the census report. In keeping with our oversight responsibilities, we would like to see a more aggressive approach from all committees on the tracking of budget programs and implementations in all sectors. We would like to have a quarterly performance report from all ministries and agencies through the committees for debate and actions. Also, the Ways, Means, and Finance Committee should show that the Ministry of Finance give a quarterly disbursement report to encourage timely payments to sectors for timely execution of projects and programs that are needed for the growth and development of our country and the well-being of our people. The Committee on Public Works is mandated to give the Senate a report in 1 week on the list of road projects in the budget, locations, costs, and timelines, including outstanding projects. The Committee on Energy and Environment is mandated to finalize an assessment of the Senate building by the Liberian Electricity Corporation, LEC, to install meter for the purpose of paying our electricity bills. We want to take the lead to pay bills for the sustainability of the entity and hold all government ministries and agencies accountable for long-standing challenges and pave the way for sustainable improvements. We wish to present a summary of some achievements, work in progress, and the future outlook. 1. Audit recommendations and implementation. As of December 2024, many recommendations of the 174 GSC recommendations from our system audit have been successfully executed, with expectations to achieve 50% completion by early 2025. Key initiatives include forming the Audit Recommendations Implementation Committee to oversee further progress and ensure long-term adherence with GSC directives. 2. We have established 4 functional committees in line with the Public Financial Management PFM regulations: the Procurement Committee, the Budget Committee, the IT Committee, and the strategy.
Oh yes, Spoon to Spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon is going to tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon is going to tell you what is happening in Monrovia.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in.
Spoon is going to tell you what is happening in Africa. Just tune to Spoon, and you will definitely know.
The children crying for starvation. Just to.
I'd like to welcome all of you tonight. Thanks for joining us.
News update, my brother.
Another edition of Spoon Talk, the late night show. The late night politics is back on your radio. I'd like to welcome all of you. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is where we talk Liberia. We bring the issues to you as they unfold. We provide you the opportunity to have your say on those different issues after making some analysis around those issues here every night. So thanks for coming on. Please share the program as you join us tonight. You're in Nimba, you're in Maryland, you're in Grand Baza, you're in Sino, you're in Grand Cape Mam County, or you're in Lofa.
You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Tune to Spoon.
As we get set to take off another edition of the program, your favorite late night show tonight. So my name is Nelson Colette. The rest of the panelists are coming on. It's going to be a spirited conversation here tonight. A lot happening across Liberia. We're going to provide you the updates and move in with the conversation tonight. I'd like to welcome everyone to the program. Thanks to all of you for joining us tonight, folks. Thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. So let me bring the music down and get the show started. Sorry, folks, I got carried away, but there's a whole lot, and I'd like to welcome all of you to the show tonight. Thanks for joining us on this edition of the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. We're here tonight, as always, to bring the issues to you, and I want to recognize those of you who are here early tonight. Stephen McGill, I see G. Prince Jacobs joining us tonight. Thanks for coming on. He says he's watching from Kakata City, Margibi County. He's a member of the Jobless Association of Margibi County. Wow. Member of the Jobless Association. Do you guys have an association for people who are jobless? This country. But welcome everyone, our dear sister Shirley. Shirley, you need to come on. Shirley, you didn't send me Abby's stuff. Yes. But Shirley, welcome to the show. We hope to see you on. I know Abigail's celebration is going on. Saliet Vincent joining us tonight. O.P. O'Neill Johnson coming on as well. Gavelin. I hope I got that name right, but thank you. Thanks for coming on tonight. Eric McGill, Mr. McGill, always joining us first. Always part of the first batch of people that will come on the late night show. Eric McGill is one of the ardent followers of the late night show, and I want to recognize you in a very special way, Eric McGill. You will join us on Facebook, then while you engaging from your Facebook. Then I see you on YouTube at the same time. Mr. Miguel, thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to have you on. Nathaniel K. Hill as well, one of our ardent followers who's almost always the first person on the show. Hipko Kazi is here. And I see a lot of you here tonight. Thanks for joining us. Lai Kanen joining us from District 11, Caldwell. Yes, all of you coming on tonight. I want to appreciate you for joining us. Alfred Konawa. Alfred says he's coming on tonight. Maybe Alfred is going to be disappointed. But yeah, Alfred, thanks for coming on. I see you in the comment section. Maybe you're going to join us later. Lincoln Colley is here. Bolly, Wisdom, Gibson, and I see Choko Moses Kukbe. Yes. Let me bring Sandy on. Sandy is set up in the background already. He was eating some toboggi, and I just brought him on. See the main teacup.
Listen, I don't drink tea. I don't drink coffee.
As huge as Goliath's, Anyway, but Sandy, welcome to the show. I can hear you very well.
Good. Oh, I'm hearing the feedback.
You getting the feedback?
Yeah. Okay, let's try it now. Okay, it's good. Well, it's good to be here. I was telling you, I don't drink tea and I don't drink coffee.
Okay.
The thing you see here every morning is something that free of charge I'm sharing with those that are listening and watching. I drink hot lemon water with honey every morning.
Lemon water with honey.
So you just boil the water, not too hot, warm. You put a lemon on it. You put a little bit of honey on it. You drink it in the morning. You drink it in the evening. It's the last thing you drink before you go to bed. Nelson, it helps with your digestion. Very good. Gives you energy. So I don't eat palm butter, lean lava. I don't eat palm butter, man. I try to stay fit. So now I don't eat all the oily food. Anything I eat, Nelson, it have no oil. Now, Doctor 101, Shelley, free of charge.
One would expect that with that you will have you start to drop weight. But the more Sandy drinks the lime water, the more he's putting up weight. So I don't know if the lime water is really helping Sandy. I understand the digestion aspect. Yes, I understand the digestion aspect. But with the lime water, look, people who are overweight or gaining a lot of weight are often advised to drink lime. Drink the lime water and stuff like that. But with you drink the lime water, but you keep putting up weight. So
it's actually the total opposite. You haven't seen me lately, Nelson. I live in the gym, so I can't put on weight. I'm losing it. I live in the gym.
Well, that's a great one. But I saw you. I saw you when you came to Liberia, and when you went back, I noticed that you started to gain more weight after you went back. Meanwhile, this is the time you're drinking the lime water and everything, but you're gaining more weight.
You got trouble. I'm losing it, Will, man. I'm losing it. I'm loving it. Oh, somebody called Nelson. Shelley, join the show. Don't be a hater in the comment section. Join the show.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I had to take get a feedback. One of our followers trying to give a feedback. But yeah, so it's a great thing that we're here tonight. There's a whole lot happening across the country to talk Liberia, to talk about the issues. And with the time we have left, make the most of it. And let's get the conversation going on. But again, yes. So, Sandy, you want to do your opening just before we move on to the updates and get the conversation going on?
Well, Nelson, I've been reflecting on our country all day, and there are several things in the country that I am looking forward to us discussing tonight. But one of the things that have been playing on my mind is really the youth participation in the rebuilding process of our country. I want to strongly say here that I want Liberians across the country to follow what the folks in Nima County are doing in terms of agriculture. What I mean is, and I'm not talking about just the development we see, but Nima is one of the counties in our country that we can use as an example where most of the young people compete, even in the area of agriculture. Nelson, I was home last year and I visited Nimba. And when I got to Ganta, I visited a young man oil palm farm. A young man that I'm older than, lives in Nima in Ganta, hasn't been out of the country, but has an oil palm farm that makes him over 150,000 US dollars annually. A young man. And I asked him, how did you arrive here? He said he been into it for over 10 years. That means the guy started when he was in his teens. And he told me, he said, Sandy, this is the story of a lot of young people in this county. We are very competitive. We are into agriculture. We are into businesses. We are into trading. I mean, we are into everything legally that will bring money. And I'm saying, and then I'm seeing a difference between that young man and several other young men in my area of Grand Jida who sit in the towns and villages, and all they do is to debate the best player, the best soccer player, or the best politician. Instead of using their energy, Nelson, to go and utilize the farms, the forest that we have. I'm getting feedback, Nelson. And utilize the forest we have. They sit in the various towns and villages debating. Messi is the best, Ronaldo is the best, George Weah is the best, Walker is the best, debating either football or politics that brings nothing to them. We cannot just depend on the government alone to rebuild our country. And government cannot put money in our pockets when we are in our different villages and towns. I think it is about time, Nelson, that we depopulate Morovia, get back to the villages, to the town, to the counties, and get ourselves busy on the farm. And I'm speaking as an example too. I'm not just saying it, but I am heavily involved into farming in Grand Jida. Heavily involved. But Nelson, let me tell you, it's very sad that even Grand Jida, I have a 500 acre of oil palm project. You barely find any worker out of my area. We have to go to Nimba, or we have to go across the border to Ivory Coast to bring people to work. Our people sit in the town and they are looking up to calling family in the diaspora for income. My people, the time you are using to debate politics, the time you are using to debate soccer, you are wasting your youth. It is time we get busy. Agriculture alone can help us. That way we are not entirely dependent on government for our sustainability. We are not entirely dependent on government for our children to survive. Government cannot send your kids to school. It is you. Government is not responsible for you individually. Government is responsible to make it easy to provide avenue. But you yourself, as a young man or young woman, you yourself, while you still have the energy, while you are still in your youth, get up and get into the forest. Liberia is fertile. We can just drop Nelson a seed on the ground in Liberia. You don't have to water it and it will grow something. In many parts of the world, you can't do that. We are blessed, but we are wasting it. And that's why other foreigners are coming to our country. They see what we are not seeing, and they are coming in heavy numbers to take away what belongs to us because we are not seeing it. Or we are seeing it, but we neglect it intentionally. That's what beyond our mind today.
Well, that's profound, and thanks a lot for that, Cindy. And if Liberia must make the kind of progress that we are looking forward to, these simple things, or these things we consider as simple things, are the very important things that we need to prioritize sometimes. Um, and you couldn't have said it better than that. The a country like Liberia that has a majority of its population, over 50% of our population, being um, youthful, very energetic, and not having the level of productivity that is expected of a country like ours, is something that's worth talking about. And I'm very glad that you raised that particular issue tonight. Yeah, and let's hear from our brother Alfred. Thanks for joining the show, Alfred. You want to do your opening?
Well, good evening, and I want to say thank you so much for having me tonight, Brother Cindy. It's always a pleasure to have you on. Let me say good evening to our people in the comment section. Again, we are here tonight. But next thing, what's on my mind tonight has got to do with the Ministry of Education.
Hmm.
Um, the last time I was here and I was talking about, the minister's appointment. And since her appointment, we have not heard from her as it relates to what she has done and what she hopes to do in terms of revitalizing our education system, specifically in the area of primary education, primary and secondary education. Nursing, our education system is in tatters. You know that for a fact. And I'm downhearted that this minister that had all the professional accolades. It has been 1 year, almost 1 year, that her appointment by the Liberian people to the president has not yielded any kind of fruits in terms of how she's going to help the president in making sure that we can revitalize our education system. So it concerns me. That's why I want us to talk about it. And nursing, I hope that we can have someone from the minister's office to come on here to tell her exactly, if she can come though, to tell her what she's been doing the last 1 year, and what she hoped to achieve moving forward. Because we are not hearing from the ministry. We are not hearing from the ministry. We want to know what's going on in the ministry in terms of our own strategic plan that is coming with to help Liberia. It concerns me, and we need to find out what's going on within the ministry so that we can know what happened. Let's talk about the issue of teacher training. What is it that she's doing in terms of training our teachers? uh, what policy mechanism that's in place in terms of revitalizing the different TRs in the country. When I talk about TR, I'm talking about the Teachers Institute, that they want the ZRO, the KRTTR, all those areas that were once before the conduit for the government to be able to help our students. We want to know what's going on down there. And since then, she has not spoken to Liberian people as it relates to those strategic areas that we believe, if she really believe that she can work with Liberia, she'll be able to bring our education system to where we want it to be.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Alfred. The it's very important, and I think this is where communication comes in. Communication is key. It's very important in all the different things we talk about. It's like marketing. It's like letting the world know what you have, what you're doing, and all of that. The last time I checked, at the Liberian Senate. The minister was invited by that body. She didn't appear at a particular time when she was to do so, and then she gave an excuse. She sent an excuse to the Liberian Senate, stating that she was making a tour around the country in the remote parts of Liberia to establish what the real issues are, what the challenges of the Liberian people are, and all of that. The challenges in the educational sector. She was visiting the counties to be able to make an informed decision as to how to move the educational sector forward. And she completed that. Following the completion, she then appeared at the Liberian Senate and outlined how much of a challenge that is there in the educational sector of the country and what will be required to do, where she will have to start from. And it was during that presentation that I, for the first time, heard the education minister talk about a school, one of the schools she visited in the rural parts of the country, where the teacher did not know how to spell, what's the word? It's escaping me. Just a single word. But she went there not even knowing that this was the education minister, when we're team like some ordinary visitors. And that teacher, even the teacher in the classroom, was misspelling the particular word that teacher was teaching the students, and some people laugh about it, but those were some of the challenges she saw. And since then, there have been some progress, quite recently, they concluded. And in fact, during that presentation, she spoke of the need for teachers to be trained, a regular workshop for those in the sector, from the DEOs to the CEOs, going down to the other folks in the sector. And recently, they completed a couple of workshops, and they had the Ministry of Education launched a 2-day orientation for education officers to strengthen education partnership, and a whole lot they've been doing, but again, communication is key. I'm not a PRO at the Ministry of Education, but yes, I just thought to bring that in, since in fact that was a concern, and I believe it's a concern for so many people across the country. But this is where we are. Liberia, we wake up every day, there's something happening. Now, I want us to start this whole show tonight with the situation yesterday. We didn't get to talk about it, but the NEC chairperson was suspended by the president. I don't know how many of you follow that development, but she was suspended for time indefinite based on the shakings that have been going on there at the National Elections Commission. Some of the staff members were dismissed. They've been protesting, and it got to a point where an investigation was launched. And following the investigation, the president decided to take the action where the next chairperson is being suspended for time indefinite. And why this is happening, the momentum is growing in Nimba County. Senator Prince Johnson's funeral, there are different funeral services held in different parts of Nimba, from Kample to Senikole to Tapeta, all those different places. The different funeral services are being held there, and that's something that has got the county very charged as they move on with the activity in that part of the country. Well, we started the conversation yesterday about the the launch of the arrest agenda, and we thought that today, once we can have the time, we'll go into that, and be able to make some analysis around some of what's captured in there, and make some analysis around uh, that particular instrument. And so I want us to kickstart the conversation from here. I'm trying to get some documents up. Let me try to upload some stuff here. But Cindy, I want you to kickstart the conversation. Alfred is back. I don't know why he's going in and out. It's like someone is trying to hijack your network. But now,
Yeah.
the issue with the suspension of the next chairperson, there has been different views on this particular action. There are some who are hailing the president for launching an investigation and taking an action after the investigation was launched. There are some who think that this is a very good start, that there will be noise, the issues, the staffers, the blocking roles, at some point they lack the entrance of the National Elections Commission, that nobody will enter. But that all these things will happen, an investigation is launched, and the president take an action. Others have been hailing the president for that. That all may not be rosy, but at least to some extent, the president is starting to take some actions, especially at a very key entity like the National Elections Commission. Well, there are folks on the other end who are seeing these things, this particular issue, with a political lens. There are some who think that this is calculated, this is intentional to, temporarily suspend, let's say, temporarily remove or suspend the next chairperson, given the situation with the Nima County by-elections that's coming up, so that just anything can happen there. But have we gotten to that point where whoever becomes the head of the National Elections Commission can just decide who wins an election in the country? Is Liberia to that point where, and is there any reason why anybody should agree with that narrative that the president has taken this decision because there's a by-election at hand in Nima County, and it's geared towards getting someone there who will temper with whatever? Is it anywhere near possible? I want us to make some analysis around this particular situation, and then we can go to other issues once we have the time. Let's hear your take on this, Cindy.
Look, Nelson, I want to make something clear before I give my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, under our Constitution, let us know here very well that the president does not have the authority to unilaterally suspend the election commissioner, the National Election Commissioner. Now, the NEC, it is an autonomous public commission, right, that is charged with administering and enforcing our election laws. And the NEC own laws basically allow them to operate under the directions of the 7 commissioners that they have, right, that were appointed by the president. But the president cannot just by himself, according to our Constitution, suspend the commissioner. However, now our country laws also stipulate that the president can only remove or suspend the election commissioner based on certain causes in consultation with the Liberian national legislators. Causes such as incompetence, misconduct, gross breach of duty, or any conviction of felony. So now I want to know, one thing I want us to establish is what was the cause stated by the president for this suspension. Does it fall in any of these: incompetence, misconduct, breach of duty, or conviction of felony? Was that any of that part of the reason why she was suspended? Did the president consult the Liberian Senate? So let us establish the reason, and let us find out if the president consulted the lawmakers before making the suspension. Okay, Nelson. Now let me share my personal opinion.
Yeah. Okay. So with respect to that particular issue, and it's a very good point you raised. I'm going to pull up what came from the office of the president or the executive mansion with respect to the suspension. It's very important. That was a very great point you raised for the sake of our audience, so that someone listening to the show now can have a clearer picture or a broader understanding of why the chairperson of the National Elections Commission, Madam Deviata Brown Lassanan, was suspended by the president. So let's read the communication here. Sorry, let's read what's here from the e-mansion. So it says the President Barker suspends NEC chairperson Brown Lassanan, 15 January 2025. President Barker has suspended Madam Deviata Brown Lassanan, chairperson of the National Elections Commission, for an indefinite period for actions in violation of the election laws. The suspension follows an investigation into recent protests by aggrieved workers regarding administrative decisions taken without prior consultation. According to the findings, Madam Brown Lassanan unilaterally announced the disclosure, that's the closure. She announced the closure of the NEC office for 1 month and dismissed 25 employees without the knowledge or approval of the NEC Board of Commissioners as required by law. So we'll go to the second paragraph. It says, and that's the third paragraph. It says, Section 2.1 and Section 2.10 of the Elections Law, which vests the authority to conduct NEC affairs in the Board of Commissioners as a collective body. The law mandates that decisions involving corrective measures against employees must be taken in consultation with the board, not by the chairperson or any individual commissioner acting alone. This one quotes is quoting the law now. It says, why the committee consulted to be why the committee
Constituted
to be to investigate the grievances of the NEC workers as actively addressing the matter. Madam Brown Lassanan took perceptuals and
precipitous.
Okay, and unilateral actions, thereby undermining the integrity and stability of the institution, the president stated. So,
okay, Nelson,
yeah, I think this answers the question. It was very important for us to go to that particular aspect, and then yeah. So it's clear, and it says here why the president took the action.
So one of the requirements,
action, and all of that.
One of the causes is gross breach of duty, and it sounds like based on that communication from the executive mansion, that's one of them. She took a decision unilaterally without consulting the Board of Commissioners, which is acting on her own without consulting the board. So that's going beyond her duty. So then it answers that. So for folks that would think that then this decision is being made so that the president can control what happens in Nimba County, again, we want to put politics into everything that we discuss in Liberia, which is very wrong. We do not investigate things, we don't ask the right questions, but then we jump into conclusion. Everything when it comes to Liberia must be politics. I mean, this is the right timing. No one is above the law. If anyone breaks the law, you must treat them according to the laws of the country, according to the Constitution of the Republic. And it seems like the president is following the laws on the book. Now, the good thing is, investigation is ongoing. This lady has not been terminated. Her employment has not been terminated. She is on a suspension for the investigation to continue. That's the best thing to do. You can't have someone in authority while you conduct investigation on them. They can easily undermine the investigation. So what you do, you put them aside and then you investigate. If they are found guilty, well, you make the decision from there. If they are found not guilty, they go back to work. So let the investigation go on. Let the finding be presented to the president, and let the president come back to the Liberian people, give us the finding, and then we move on from there. So that's all I have to say on that. But let me end on this by recognizing my brother and friend, a scholar from the Liberia Duje Association High School, Brother Amuchi Imo. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Well, thanks a lot, Sandy. And this is very important. Going through the statement, the statement is clear on why the chairperson is being suspended. And the statement also says why the chairperson, what the chairperson did. But the statement does not say why the chairperson took the action she took, which is in this case now, dismissing those 25 employees. Why did she dismiss the 25 employees? And I think this is where the investigation is going into deep now, because those employees at the National Elections Commission have been in the news quite recently for they've been protesting. They wanted benefits. They wanted some monies that should have gone to them. After the election, they didn't get the money, so they've been protesting. So was that on the basis? And was there an internal investigation done that led to the next chairperson taking the action she took? Okay, so maybe you want to go back a little. The statement is also clear on the aspect that has to do with her role, what the law says as to what the process is when it comes to dismissing employees. Did you have the involvement of the Board of Commissioners and not the head of the institution unilaterally dismissing an individual? But let's hear a take on this, Alfred.
I agree with my brother Sandy when it comes to the exigencies of the law. However, I have a very strong reservation with regards to the president's action. Right? The president was very swift in suspending the NEC boss. This president, since we've been crying on this, his very chief of staff in Grace Bay unilaterally went to the Social Security Fund and took people's Social Security money to buy carway. Up to now, as we are saying, this is a fact. The president has not taken any decision to investigate, to know why he did that, and why is he still in the president's office. He has not been suspended. It's been over 1 year. Let's look at what happening at the LTA. This president has not gone to be very swift in terms of suspending people and investigating what's going on at the LTA. Right? This president has been very swift, very, very swift in taking this action at the National Election Commission. So for me, Nelson, I have a serious problem with that. You cannot be selective in making decisions. When you see wrong, wrong is wrong. We know that Grace Bay was wrong by taking people money to go back out for the president. He was wrong. Why was he not suspended for that? This president is on record of talking about he will not come to do business as usual. He's on record of saying that. Why is he selective? Why is he selective in terms of making decisions? So is this the Liberia that we want, that we all fight for, that will have a president that will be selective in the kind of decision to make once it is not in a favor, right? So for me, I have a very strong reservation. In as much that we want this president to do well, across the board, whether this person that your friend, because Grace Bay is president, old time friend, so he does not have the energy to suspend him, and that is a problem. If you have that kind of situation in the government, you will not get the kind of productivity that you want. Because if you circle yourself with a lot of friends, when they make a mistake, you don't correct them, it will create serious productivity problem within your government. And that's why when we see this kind of thing, we have to raise the red flag so that the president can go back and readjust.
But
And,
you know, and Alfred, what I see here is you trying to use one instance to draw another instance. You trying to use the NEC situation to draw the E-Mansion situation that has been a long-standing one. But let's go into it a bit. According to information, this money was taken to get a vehicle for the president plus other vehicles. Information is that about 10 vehicles, 10 or 12 vehicles, are still to be corrected on the figure, but it's in that range. 10 to 12 vehicles were bought with this particular money for use by the Liberian government. So,
but
nothing. In this case,
this particular action was taken. This particular action was taken bypassing all the procurement process of the country. That was illegal. That's why we are saying we have our laws on the board when it comes to procurement and everything. This Joseph Boakai friend, President Boakai friend, went and gave order to Social Security and take people money from there to come back out. That is not the purpose of the Social Security. It's not there for people to be taking people money from there and buying cars for government officials. It's not why it's there for. It's there for people when they work over 30, 35 years, they can have a befitting retirement. That money, that's why it's there for. It's not there for people to go and be taking and be buying cars for government officials. And then when they do it, then you say, we see what they did with the money. No, that's not the point. The point is they bypass the law to do it.
Cindy, I see your head up. You want to come here a bit?
I do get my brother's point. What Alfred is trying to fight against is selective justice. Alfred is saying, if you have this level of energy to go after the election commissioner, well, you should go after other people that have done similar things. So I agree with you, but Alfred is not also directly coming up to say that the decision by the president to go after the election commissioner is a good one. So I don't know if he acknowledging or accepting that decision to be a good one, or his emphasis is just on the fact that Grace Bay was not brought to justice.
Thank you for the reservation, brother Cindy. What I'm saying is, the decision by the president. Listen. Let me make this clear. The argument is
confusing this conversation tonight.
Nelson.
You're confusing this conversation.
Nelson. What I'm saying, I am not in defense. I am not in defense of the National Election Commission. She should have gone ever since in the first place. So we should have fired her ever since. When she went and told her brother during the by-election and gave contract to a brother to go buy thermometer for 1,000 per piece. She should have gone ever since. She's not supposed to be in the picture anymore. But you know, this is Liberia. And Jowiah say we are all cousins, so when somebody do wrong, we can't do nothing to them. That was Jowiah. But this is Mr. Barker. What I'm saying to you is, in as much that the president took the decision, which is the right decision, I am saying that the president should not be selective. That's my argument, Brother Cindy, that he should not be selected. So if it happens at the National Election Commission, where you have the commissioner is in total breach of a duty, the president has got the authority to make sure that things are going right in our area and making sure that he's taking swift action, right? That is his job. But what I'm saying here is that it should go across the board. It should not be selective. Don't take a long time to investigate one thing that you're supposed to make sure that things are going right. Then you're taking a long time to take decisions. That's the point I'm making. Look at the LTA. We've been crying about the LTA about mismanagement of funds. Up to now, the president has not taken any decision. There hasn't been no decision taken by the president with regards to the LTA. Right under him, we cry, we say Grace Bay was wrong by going to take government. I mean, people money to back out for the president. Even though the cars are there, I'm not disputing the fact that they don't use the money to buy a car. No, that's not my argument. My argument is the process by which they went about to do what they did was illegal. And the president is supposed to have taken action because he said he's coming here in this place and he will not do things as business as usual. Because that's what been happening in the past. They will go and credit money from LPRC have fallen in that case before. They will go take money from LPRC to do something. At the end of the day, they can't pay back. At the end of the day, they will not pay back. That's what we're talking about.
But thanks a lot, Alfred. Why are we having this conversation? The legislature is getting involved somehow. Somehow, in a sense that the Rule of Law Caucus released a statement in relation to this particular action, headed by Representative Musa Hassan Bilite. They put up a statement condemning the government of Liberia, condemning the action of the president. And this is what it says. The Rule of Law Caucus of the House of Representatives have expressed grave concerns over President Barker's decision to suspend the National Elections Commission chairperson, Deviator Brown Lassana, for time indefinite. According to the caucus, the decision is viewed as serious threat to democratic principles and constitutional governance, undermining the integrity of Liberia's electoral system. They emphasize that the National Elections Commission was established as a tenuous body to prevent political interference. The Supreme Court has ruled that such suspension equates to removal, which can only occur through impeachment by the national legislature. By bypassing this process, the president is seen as overstepping his authority and violating the separation of powers. This is what the Rule of Law Caucus is saying, headed by Honorable Musa Hassan Bilite. They're saying that the president is going beyond his authority. He's outstepping his bound. The suspension of the NEC chairperson is unconstitutional, is illegal, is interference, and they want the president to step aside. I mean, what exactly do we stand on this issue? Should Liberians at this point, should the president in the first place be listening to the Rule of Law Caucus, or should he go ahead and do what he's doing now in the interest of the country? Or, I mean, who's in the interest of the country in the first place? Who's in the interest of the rule of law? I mean, let's hear from you, Sandy. We're going to come to you after.
Well, Nelson, quickly, I asked the question here earlier. There were two issues at play.
Yeah.
The cause for her removal and whether the president consulted the lawmakers, because it is required by our law that that level of suspension is in consultation with the lawmakers.
Mm-hmm.
So my first issue was answered. The cause of her removal was stated in the letter.
Yeah.
But apparently, from what we are hearing now from Musa Belete and his group, or Representative Musa Belete and his group, the president did not consult them.
Yeah.
So again, the cause of a removal is genuine, but it should be in line or in consultation with the Liberian legislators. And if that is not done, then I see where Musa Belete and his group are coming
Okay. Let me come here a bit, Sandy. Two things are happening here. Both parties are pointing to the rule of law. If you read the statement from the executive mansion, the statement is saying that the reason why the president took the action to indefinitely suspend the NEC chairperson is because she's breaching the law. She should not be on her own unilaterally just suspending 25 employees. There's a process to how this thing works as per what the law calls for. You have the board of commissioners. They should be coming together and be making a decision on this. But apparently, and just interpreting that statement, those other members of the board of commissioners were not aware, they were not in the know, or they had no say in what the NEC chairperson did. And so because of that, E-Mansion says, look, you are suspended. The law says you can be suspended, though you have tenure, but you can be removed for a cause. And for breaching the law that created your own entity, the institution, you are going to be suspended. You're not being removed, but you'll be suspended. Now, the rule of law caucus on the other end is saying, you executive, you should not be the one, taking this action. It should meet legislative consensus. We should consent. So, who's in the interest of the law here?
Well, Nelson, we have rules on the book. So this is one thing that maybe the executive need to come back up and clarify. According to them, if this is not considered or is not at the level of removal, then they should come and clarify. But the lawmakers now are arguing that this is at the level of removal, and in order to remove, you must be in consultation. You must consult with us. We must have to be in agreement. This is the process that we have to do. We have to impeach her to remove her. But then again, you can see the executive mansion argument that this is a suspension. So
yeah,
we may need some constitutional scholars to kind of help in this area, or maybe the executive mansion need to come back up and clarify this. But again, I want to say the cause for her suspension is valid, and I welcome the investigation that is ongoing to look into the accusation against her, and if she's found guilty of those accusations, let the law take its course.
Thank you, Sandy. Let's hear from you, Alfred.
Look, Nelson, Article 50 is very clear. The President of the Republic of Liberia has a fiduciary responsibility to ensure sanctity within the governing process. Okay? So if the President sees that somewhere in his administration something is going wrong, he has to stand up. He has to make sure that things are going right, right? In as much I am kind of critical of the president in terms of his slowness, in terms of making swift decision, I would say to you quite frankly that the decision taken to suspend the National Election Commission boss is in no way in violation of the president's duty. All right.
So are you saying indirectly that the rule of law caucus that's on the other end coming up with this statement is not in the interest of the law?
Look, Nelson, those guys are just Musa Belete and others, Representative Musa Belete and others looking for relevance all around the place. In this case, they don't have any face to fry in this case, right? Because let's face it, Nelson. In an argument, they argue that the decision by the president has a proclivity to jeopardize our democratic process in the argument. That's what they are saying. So the question now we should be asking is, are we in an election? Are we in the middle of an election process where the president is taking the decision?
We have a by-election coming up.
Are we now in an election process? That's the question we are asking. We know that we have a by-election coming up.
And Alfred, this is where the argument is getting even more interesting. Because why the executive is taking an action now, the rule of law caucus is looking all the way into the future. Let's say into 2-3 months from now, 4 months from now, what's going to be happening politically. That's where they're going. And I want you to, for once, just take a look at this. The rule of law caucus, though chaired by Honorable Musa Hassan Bility, but it has its roots from the whole Councillor Kofad and Honorable Kun, situation that has been going on at the level of the legislature. Now, I want you to follow this. And when we got at the heat of the majority versus minority situation, it turned out to be more like a CDC versus unity party kind of thing, especially with Councillor Kofa coming from the CDC. Though there were speculations, other people making comments that the CDC had a hand, but those are things that could not be verified. What we know from the way things are is that Councillor Kofa is from the CDC, and the CDC even pulled up a statement calling all of our lawmakers to go back and support him, that they will suspend him and blah, blah, blah. You know the rest of the story. So, fast forward, this CDC versus Unity Party thing, you go back to 2023, Nimba County was a battleground between the CDC and the Unity Party. The both parties fought, and the CDC was massively whipped. It was the votes, especially from that county, that saw the Unity Party winning. And so this team is a game from a distance. Though we're not in election period, the people from Nimba County say they're not in a position to talk anything about who replaces Senator Prince Johnson at this point until it gets to that point where he's been laid to rest. But they're peeping into the future to say, look, though we're not there yet, but we foresee that this action is being taken by the executive based on what lies ahead. What do you think about that, Alfred?
Nothing. I think Musa Belele trying to create this knee-jerk reaction from Nimba County to say that President Boakai some way somehow does not like the county. That's why he's trying to that's why he's trying to show. But that is not the case. That is not the case. We are talking about procedural error from the election commission that led to her suspension. And we are saying the president is saying the investigation is ongoing at the level of the election commission. And after the investigation is concluded, we'll know exactly what will be the next decision to be taken. All right. So we have not reached that point where the president say, okay, we'll let you go because of this decision. You ask a very serious question. We want to know what led to her dismissing 25 personnel from her entity. We want to know that. Okay, the investigation has not shown to us that this is what happened. That's the reason why she suspended these people. We want to investigate that too. All right. So, but right now, Nelson, we are not in election. Like you put it, the people in Nimba County are still grieving over their hero. We are not talking about election right now in Nimba County. And if in election were to be held in Nimba County, it has nothing to do in terms of doing anything to the president, because the president is already president. He has 5 more years to go.
Alfred, do you really think that if we were to go to election today or tomorrow in Nimba County, it will have nothing to do with the whole Unity Party versus CDC back and forth? You think nothing of such? You think the majority versus minority politics is not going to play in the Nimba election that lies ahead? You think so?
No, the people of Nimba County know what they want. Let me make that clear to you. The people of Nimba County know exactly what they want. So when the time comes where they will go back to choose among their sons. They are the one that's supposed to make that decision. Mr. Bwaga has no face to fry it is or who become the next senator of Nima County, because
A
I
political
know for
leader.
sure,
It's
I
not
know for
better.
sure, Nelson,
A sitting president, and you say he's gonna have no fish to fry, no interest in what's gonna happen in Nima County.
but the history speaks for itself. Which one of the president has ever tried to say, okay, yeah, putting the person here in Nima County, and because of me, the person will become president? Only person that did it was Joe Wea, with the help of Prince Johnson. If Prince Johnson were not in the picture, Joe Wea put a hand on not going to win election in Nima County. Okay, so what we are saying here to you is that the people of Nima County at the particular point in time know exactly who they will bring to be their next senator for Nima County. What we are seeing here from the Musa Belete angle, I think Musa Belete looking for a way to show himself, because I believe he might want to run to be the next senator, because Musa Belete is capable of doing that. He's very capable of doing that.
Nelson, I want to add, I know we have to move on, but I want to add, Brother Alfred, look, there is no president that sit back doing by-election. No president in a democratic governance system. They always want the election to favor their candidate. They want to have more people in the House, in the Senate. The president wants more of his supporter in the Senate. So definitely the president is going to go and support or do anything to ensure that a member from the Unity Party wins the election in Nima County. But let me say this.
But we're saying, how does the suspension of the NEC board have to do with this one?
Let me come there. So I'm trying to clarify what you were saying. I'm trying to add my piece to that. But I agree with you. I don't think Musa Belete should put fear in the Liberian people or to allow that the president's decision is because of the election and the president is concerned about the possible actions that may come from the National Election Commission. I mean, if anything, I must give it to this National Election Commissioner and her team that they have proven over time to be at least, I would say, about 90% fair and professional in the conduction of previous elections under her administration, under her tenure, and we must give it to her. One of them is the election that brought President Bwaga into power. So I think as a nation, we have crossed the line where our elections are entirely or heavily influenced by our election decisions are influenced by election commissioner. People are washing their pools. Liberians are alert. They know what's going on. And I don't think Liberians should fear any election commissioner or have any thinking that an election commissioner will rig their election. I don't think that's the reason the president is doing this. I want to agree that there is a serious issue at the National Election Commission, and the president is stepping out to investigate that issue.
And quickly, let me just add to this, Nelson. With regards to any kind of election moving forward in the 21st century, the social media has become very, very effective. Gone are those days where you have men standing behind a pulpit and telling what the election commission should announce. Gone are those days. Evidence by just the previous election we just had. We already knew the result even before the election commission could announce the result. We already knew who won. Because they say of social media. So the issue of Musa Belete alarming that the suspension of the NEC boss can be equated to her dismissal is not true. He should not make Labrambo to be afraid. And more besides, the people of Nimba are very unique. They are very unique. They know who they want to be their next senator, and when the time comes, they will choose that person. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks a lot, Alfred, and I think we have to move on. Time is not much on our side now. But I want us to take a look at this issue a bit, and then we're gonna go to the phone lines. We don't have the luxury of time to complete all of the different issues we had lined up tonight. But we started the conversation about Starlink, and for some time, Liberians have been very excited in the country since the pronouncement was made. From the very day the president had the video call with Elon Musk, and next thing we saw that there's this pronouncement. I mean, Liberians have been very excited, not just because of Starlink, but because of the other aspect of the conversation where it was being said that he has this intention of investing in the tech space, Liberia being this country that is more like a green home, the virgin land to, the growing wave of technology and all of those things. Yes, investment in the sector and all of those things. Those were issues that a lot of people were very excited about. Starlink was certificated by, the government to operate. And Starlink, which is not just strange to Africa, has been launched. The service has been launched in Liberia. And they're saying that their goal is to expand the internet coverage from 60% to pretty close to 100%. And this service is going to benefit Liberians, benefit folks across the world and across the country, especially in the rural parts of the country, get more Liberians online and so forth. But there's something here. The hardware requirement of the Starlink, as per the information so far, is $390. Why the monthly subscription is at $40. Liberia as a country, given the average income of people living in Liberia, $390. $390 for the hardware, which is your different stuff that you pull. I mean, I used it before, but I understand it has a dish, right? It has a dish you can pull up, and that dish, once it connects to, satellite, and you get internet and so forth. The $390, that where the real issue is now. And this is where I want us to start this conversation from. The $40 subscription sounds a bit reasonable.
It sounds reasonable. Okay.
No, I say a bit reasonable. I'm really struggling because this is the thing. In Liberia, we say internet expensive.
But now we say it's expensive in Liberia. That's the truth.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm using our Liberia. So the average Liberian is used to putting their $30 on the phone. You get, okay, so now it has been reduced. So $30 will give you, I subscribe to that, was it today? $30 will give you what? 7,000 megabyte or 7 gig. And that 7 gig, for those of us who can do live streaming thing, you just use it one day or so. But 1 day, 2 days. But for those who are just using it to browse, you're not doing heavy data stuff, it might take you a little bit of time. But so an average Liberian uses the $3 and get the 7 gig, or the $5 get 13 gig, and it takes them for a little bit of time. Are we in a space where that Liberian who makes maybe $150, because the minimum wage in the country, let's take it from the minimum wage, $150 as per the Decent Work Act. The man who makes $150, can he invest $390 for the hardware, or $40 per month for internet. Internet. Is Starlink going to bring about the revolution that Liberians created that mental picture of? Is there anything that needs to be worked on to get the Starlink program to fit into the living standard of the average Liberian? Does the current offer from Starlink does it match the average standard of the Liberian as far as income is concerned? I want us to start the conversation from here, and let's start with you, Cindy, and then we're going to go across. Maybe if you're not ready, then we can take Alfred. Then you can come after.
I'm ready.
Alfred.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Cindy.
Look, Nelson, Starlink is not for everybody. Let's make it clear.
Okay.
The purpose or the reason why the government engaged Elon Musk to bring Starlink for Liberia is not necessarily for everyone to have it. We have other competitors in the country. You will cut your coat according to your measurement. Let me tell you, that price, $40 a month for Starlink, for that high speed, we're talking about 50 to 250 high-speed internet, Mbps level of internet. That's very high. That's for businesses. That's for people who are constantly using the internet to browse, to work. Not a woman who have a bonanza and trying to get with her son in the US on Facebook, or someone who trying to get on WhatsApp. Nelson, I'm coming.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is what I'm saying.
Mhm.
That cost is reasonable. It's very reasonable. Nelson, on an average, Starlink equipment, I just did a basic research. It costs around $599 to $2,500 for the dish and the router in many countries. Those are businesses. That's what a business, someone with a business that wants stable internet will pay. And then monthly is about $100 to $120 per month. So you're talking about Liberia, $40 a month. That's far less than an average for Starlink's monthly fees. So don't just look it up for your country. I think there's a reduction there. I think the government have already engaged them, and considering the income level in Liberia, I think Starlink actually went down on their prices. I think they went down. It's still good, Nelson. It's good for your brother like Sandy who will come from here and want to work at home in Liberia. It's good for that old man, that young person who want to open a coffee shop, who want to open an internet cafe, who want to open a work share space or a share workspace. It's good for the hotels. It's good. That price is reasonable. If Nelson cannot afford Starlink to browse, to get on Facebook and Twitter, Nelson go to Lone Star or Orange. You have other alternatives. But I think this is good. Starlink is good for the rural areas. And this is how we get businesses to the rural area. Zwedru, Cape Rabosport, the different counties here, the different big towns and other cities we have. Starlink is good for there. That satellite up there, that's not going to be interfered by anything else. It's good for those areas. Now I can go to Zwedru, and let's say Cash Hotel, where I stayed the last time when I was in Zwedru, could now have a Starlink service, and I can easily work from Zwedru. I can easily just plug in my computer and work from Zwedru. Are you telling me Cash Hotel cannot afford $40?
$40.
Are you telling me they cannot afford that? So this is a good deal for Liberia. I can go somewhere in Robertsport and enjoy the beach and still be working. So
So
it's good.
and this is very important, and that's why it's very important for us to have these conversations now, because when this information came out, there has been mixed reactions. There are others who see this as, their hopes being dashed. The very first day they heard Starlink coming, internet will be heavy, it will be fast, and it will be cheap. Some of those people are saying now, but I thought you said the thing would be cheap. How come we hearing whole $390 for the hardware? In fact, what did they call hardware material? That what did they call hardware that will come and pay $390 for? People will start paying $40 every month. And that's why this conversation is very important. Now, but Sandy, on a very serious note, let's go into the average income of a Liberian citizen. Is it Starlink going to bring any is it going to bring about a revolution in the first place? Is it going to help with income generation in the first place?
Yes.
Is it going to add extra value to the creative industry of the country? And all of that. And that's another concern. Just before we move to Alfred.
Nelson, let's talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Liberia there with you. You and Marty saved me. You provided me an office space to work at Spoon. Why? Before that time, Nelson, I went to Orange office. Orange. They offered me an office space in Orange. Orange could not take my broadband. I mean, they could not take my computer. I had to log onto broadband. Their internet was not strong enough. They said they were giving me the highest speed, but they couldn't take it. It was you and Mother Titi that helped me in that country to still be able to access my work. Nelson, when I left Liberia, when I left you, I flew to Rwanda. I just went to my Airbnb, plugged my 2 computers, and immediately started working. I didn't have to go to anybody's office. It was Starlink. The person who had an Airbnb was Starlink. Very easy. You talk about Liberia, average Liberia salary. Liberia pay more than Rwanda. That's one thing I should share with you today. No. Liberia pay. No, I'm serious. Liberia, how much do you pay your police officer?
The minimum wage in the country is $150.
$150. You can pay $30 in Rwanda.
$30 for what?
$30. Minimum wage. A police officer in Rwanda make less than $150. So Starlink is not for that police officer. Starlink is not for that lady or maid in Rwanda who make only 30K Rwanda franc, which is less than $30 US a month. It's not for her. But do you know why Sandy will have to run to Rwanda? Do you know why your students are running to Rwanda? They have Starlink, stable internet services, stable electricity. Businesses are going there. People come from the diaspora and go out there, and they have this thing called shared workspaces. Strong internet services. When you're working from there, it's that you are here working, stable, no interruption. So Starlink, Nelson, is not for an ordinary Liberian.
Thank you.
It's a high-speed business, that costs a lot of money. It is for people that are into businesses, people that are running day-to-day offices, people that can afford it. If you cannot afford it, it's not for you. I think they are already giving Liberia a good deal, giving that $40 monthly price.
Thanks a lot. Just before moving to Alfred, I want to read a comment here from one of our followers, narrator Conan Morgan. It says, Why is Nelson overlooking the people in Liberia? Most of them are using the latest iPhones and are not working or making business. you know, and this is interesting, but I don't know how to put this. Uh, anyway, Alfred, go ahead. Let's hear your take on this issue.
Let me share my experience with you before I make my point. 2019,
Mhm.
I was in Liberia, and I was still doing my undergraduate program, and I had an online course I was doing. I said to myself, when I'm in Liberia, when I do my run around in the evening hour, I will go back home and I will go online and I'll be ready for class. Nelson, I paid $400 to Lone Star Cell with everything. Guess what? So I put the computer on, I will start freezing. The video could not even stay for even 15 minutes straight. I struggle after paying $400.
I mean, Lone
The
Star get one
broad,
of the best internet
the
in the country.
broadband, I
What's
said
the way?
2019,
Oh, in
2019,
2019. Okay.
2019. The broadband was so slow. I struggle to do my lesson online. I had to close it and just forget about it. When I came back, I had a bunch of assignment waiting on me to do. All right. Fast forward 2023. My wife was in Liberia December. She thought she was in America here. We put $50 US on her iPhone. She thought in Liberia, $50 US buy on her phone, data on her phone. She left her phone like that. She thought she was in America. The app on her phone before daybreak, Nelson, just a different app on her phone updated. She had an iPhone 15 Pro Max. The phone updated, and all the geek that she put there before daybreak when it finished. She called me, say, but there's no way for me to browse the internet. I said, but you in Liberia. You're not in America. You need to shut down some of your data so that you'll be able to use the internet when you are there to talk to your children. So what we are seeing here is that Starlink. Right now, we are talking about the tourism industry in Liberia. One of the ways we can tap into that industry is ensuring that we have three areas: roads, electricity, and internet. The government needs to invest heavily. This one is not about ordinary people. Because when the government invests heavily in those areas that I just named, when you having Starlink over there, you know what it does for the ordinary people? It create more job opportunities for these people. You have people into the hospitality industry that will be developing their businesses. My brother Cindy just talked about the hotels, right? You have other small businesses coming up as a result of this internet, right? So this thing we're talking about is not just about the I mean, way down people know. We are talking about
Thank
the bigger picture in the area of tourism, the bigger picture in the area of bringing smaller businesses to the level where they are able to stay on their own. Look, Nelson, electricity and internet is very powerful. Those two things I just named, roads, electricity, internet, you have that in your country that is stable, your country will never sleep. And you will see new businesses coming up every day. Every day. I don't say Sunday. Every day you see
you.
new businesses coming up as a result of that. So we should not all look at it and make it like our liberal way of doing things. Oh, it's too heavy. We can't be lazy as a country. We have to sacrifice everyone in this country to develop. We have to stand up on our feet to be more busy, to make this country succeed. We can't be lazy.
Nelson, please tell
Thanks a lot,
Madam Titi,
Alfred.
please
Um,
tell Madam Titi you need to get Starlink when I come back so I can have strong internet service.
well, folks, we want to close up here. Interesting that we have a whole lot to cover, but time can permit us to do that now. Maybe we should just do our closing, or we take a few calls.
Yeah, let's take a few calls today.
That's a few calls.
I will sacrifice closing for few calls.
Okay, so let's hear from you out there, folks. Call us 0555-101075. 0555-101075. I'm going to put the WhatsApp up that you can call as well via WhatsApp and make your input tonight on the Late Night Show, the Late Night Politics on Spoon. I'm Nelson Colette, Alfred Conawise here, and of course we have Jarau Cindy here as well. Hello, your name and where you call from?
Good morning, Nelson. My name is Daniel Falasalo Patronyako. I'm calling you from Johnsonville.
Go ahead, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my interest is in the Starlink. I think the Starlink is not something bad. We should hear it. Because even Orange having routers and Lone Star to get one Orange router is close to $200+, and to recharge is $55 to $80 per month. Lone Star, even when you put Lone Star, I work with University of Liberia. We call Lone Star routers. You can only take 2 persons in one office. The office have 2 persons.
Two persons in one office?
Yes. Only 2 or 3 persons in one office. If you go to the other office, the level will be.
Because the routers that I know of can connect up to 10 persons, 10, 12 persons.
I'm telling you, no. Because of that, since 2022, we bought it. We don't even use it. We rather go to use our local $2 or $3. Because if you subscribe, the money was the one more come. You don't even use the money. It will go. So let's try this particular internet system that is coming.
Thank you.
Because it been praised from America whatsoever way. So we try that. We love that.
Thank you very much for your input. Let's take another person. Hello, your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Nelson.
Morning, sir. Let's hear you.
My name is Lauren Singh. I do join the conversation on the JK Freeway to be precise.
Yeah, go ahead.
Again, my attention, I just joined the show this morning. My attention has drawn to the issue of Musa Benite and that the information in the point blanks about by-election, sacking the election commissioner or suspension. Never think so. The money barring. The issue of Nima politics is a different ballgame. Of course, Nima Kande is now out of Liberia, but we have different ways to play this game. Come to Nima politics, this election, the by-election are coming. We may likely have a 3 phases. One, it will be having travel politics in our election. 2, who will replace or who will become a warfather.
Okay.
The last one, it will be like electoral district
Thank you.
Electoral demarcation when it comes to the movement.
Thank
because somebody for Nima, somebody upon Nima, they will say that upon Nima carry.
All right. I want to hold you there and bring in another person. Hello. We'll take just 2 more calls and then we'll go. Hello. Go ahead quickly. Yeah, let's hear you.
Yes, Mr. William P. Biera, I call from Magui, Province Favorite District 2.
Go ahead, sir. Let's hear you.
Thank you for the program. You see, my heart interest in Musa Belede statement. When Musa Belede came to the political space in Liberia, he always wanted to prove that he knows all the politics, but not. He also knows the constitution, so now he can bring it outside for the young league. The president suspend. Musa Belede, a lawmaker, he was here. He saw how the election commission being shaky, people stressing, people getting in the street. He never made one day to say, call it, people ask them what happened. He remained mute, then he went tie with the election. The election in Nima Kande will go smooth. They see me who hold Nyatu hand and support Nyatu. He living. So in by General whole hand will win the election, market
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Let's hold you there. Hello, your name and where you call from, sir.
Hey, Nursing, how are you?
Yes, sir. It's good to have you on tonight.
Good, man. This is Ted, and thank you for the show tonight. And thanks to your panel tonight. I just wanted to react to Alfred when he was talking about the industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. I agree with him. One of the areas that Liberians can really jumpstart is tourism industry. But we talk about a lot, but we are not making the efforts. It's so easy because you don't need physical strength. All you need is investment. You need to invest in your infrastructure, like I always say. Look, there's a reason why now, if you look around West Africa, you look at Ghana. Ghana is now really ahead. Why? Because Ghana Ghana started in the what? 19. That was 19. Was that? Okay, I forgot. I think it was either they started their infrastructure plan, I think 1996 or 1999. I remember when I was in Accra. So they had a 20 years plan that they laid out. They were saying to them, said, in the next 20 years, we will be able to lay out our streets, all the overpass and stuff like that. That was the first phase. The reason for that, they wanted to attract, foreign capital in their country. So that once you can face your country, face all your roads, your bridges, good beaches, you attract international business, you attract visitors. That way you tend to boom your industry, your tourism. But as Liberia is now, it's difficult for folks to come over there because if I have never been there before and I can wake up early in the morning to ask and say, oh, I want to travel, where do I go? I'm looking around the globe. Do you really think, or Nelson, I will go to Liberia? I would rather go to Accra because we got things there to see, not Liberia. Liberia doesn't have roads. Look at Liberia has everything right. Look at the landscape. Look at the beaches, the southeast. Face those beaches. Let the government face it with some nice hotel and listen out.
Thank you.
You will see how foreigners will float in Liberia and make the money from there, right there, Nelson. But no vision for the country. That's the problem.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for your input, sir. We appreciate you a whole lot.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we can end up there. We're out of time. Sandy, you want to do your closing quickly? You are muted.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson, for having us again tonight, and thanks to the Liberian people for being here with us. So great show, Nelson. On the issue of the National Election Commission, I agree that the investigation to what happened at the commission is welcoming. The president should investigate the matter and come back to the Liberian people telling us their findings. On the issue of Starlink, I think we lay out very well here. Even here in the US, Nelson, we have several different options. I think what the Liberian government is trying to do is to provide several alternatives, right? You choose what fits your budget. Let the next man choose what fits his budget, or the next lady choose what fits her budget, right? Here in the US, we have internet services that are high, and we have some that are in the middle and some that are low, right? You choose what fits for you, what you can afford. Same with cell phone plan. So I think Starlink is welcoming. Hopefully, they're saying that with Starlink, that other Liberians can start to get into the business of shared workspaces, right? And shared workspaces is just big office spaces where you have different rooms, computer, stable internet, or not even computer, just office spaces. Someone come, they bring their computer, they put it there, they pay you monthly fees or weekly fees, daily pass, and they can work from there. We have several Liberians that will love places like that. Strong internet, strong electricity, where they can leave from this stressful place, go home, set up their machines, and still be able to work and enjoy their country. So I think Starlink is welcoming news, and I look forward to coming to Liberia and experiencing that strong internet service in the country. Thank you for having us, Nelson.
Well, thanks a lot. Alfred, you want to close quickly?
Yeah, Nelson, let me re-emphasize on this issue of Starlink. The government needs to prioritize what it wants to kind of re-innovate on the Liberian economy. We need to invest. We need to invest in strategic area. That we're talking about the Starlink. Nelson, what's going to happen when Starlink comes to Liberia? The current internet providers that are over there, you know what's going to happen? They are going to re-innovate to have some level of competition with Starlink. Remember now, the whole business has to do with numbers. The more customers you have, the more money you make, right? So now we are talking about Starlink coming to Liberia. What Celcom and Lone Star will be doing now, will be seeing how to keep their customership. So what they're going to do, they're going to innovate to make sure that the services that they are providing becomes more proficient and reliable. That's what's going to happen. And what is also going to happen is going to attract other businesses that are dormant. We talk about the hospitality industry. Say, for example, I want to go to Liberia, I want just do restaurant business, right? I get my little restaurant over there. I get my little TV there. I get my little small thing there that I can use internet. People come to the place, they feel relaxed. They can watch the news. They can browse on the internet on their phone. And right there, you come there, you get free Wi-Fi services. You know what that does? It creates a lot of employment opportunities for people that may not even have it if it does not exist. So that's why we are calling the government to this thing here. Invest into this thing. We want good roads in the country. We want stable electricity, and of course, we want the Starlink to come so that it can, open up the country, so that other things can happen in the country. Trust me, Nelson, electricity is very, very key to any economic development in the 21st century. You don't have electricity, you will not have the internet, and if you don't have the internet, you will not have the job opportunity that you want to create, right?
Thank you a lot,
So
Alfred.
finally, let me just say this. We're talking about digitalization of the country, right? Now, if Starlink comes to the country, what's going to be happening? It even going to help the government agencies to be more digital. That's what's going to happen. Because the government now will be using this internet. People will not be using money. In fact, the economy will become cashless, where you have people using card. You don't have people sitting on the street using the money, and the money become bad. No, the economy will become cashless, and now the government will be able to control the flow of the money, because you will not find money in the street. Everything will be from bank to bank. You having your card in your pocket. I can't remember Cindy, when was the last time you used physical cash?
I
You
don't
just
have.
stop your car, you go home,
Yeah.
because you have what? Stable electricity, stable internet, and that gave room for what? Innovation. Thank you so much, Nelson.
Well, thanks a lot, Alfred. Thanks to you, Cindy, and thanks to all of our people across the world for joining us. It's been a great show tonight. Being here, talking Liberia, discussing the different issues. Yes, we couldn't exhaust everything on the plate tonight, but we look forward to having a great show tomorrow. And we want to appreciate everyone for joining us tonight. Just before we go, I want to do a special birthday greeting here, and then we going to close off for tonight. But again, yes, this is something that seems very good. Yes, I see some of the folks saying, "Oh, they're good news, not for the ordinary people," but this sounds good, and Liberians across the world can feel free. You see, Mele Cindy pushing for the thing now because he knows when it comes to Liberia, he has something solid, you know.
Nothing, as soon as thing you're buying the office, they are leaving the place.
And and that's why it is. But again, we look forward to seeing all the best, because, like I stated, from the very onset of this whole thing, a lot of people were looking at something that they can all just run to, grab, and move on. That's why a lot of people were looking at. You know, some Liberians saw this thing to be something where you can put your $1, your $2, and you move on like that. But one good thing I know about us Liberians is that we are very quick to adapt. We are very quick to adjust.
Nelson, I don't know how old you were 2001 when Lone Star Cell came to Liberia. People were buying crash card for $65. But when second came, what happened? We saw the innovation, right? So that's the same thing with Starlink.
Okay. And that's why it is. Competition in business is very important. Yeah, so we look forward to, seeing how that goes. But I want to say thanks to everyone. It's been a great show here tonight. Little Abigail, Abby is celebrating her 6th birthday today. Shirley couldn't come on the show to wish Abby a happy birthday, but we wish you all the best, little diva, Abigail. Cindy is here. Cindy says he's gonna handle the rest of the birthday. You can rest assured. But we wish you all the best as you celebrate your natal day today, Abigail. Happy birthday to you, Abby. All the best. And your mom, our sister, our dear panelists on this show, Shirley Snen, your siblings, your brother, your sister, they all wishing you a happy birthday as you celebrate your natal day today. And yes, we wish you all the best. And this is how
Happy birthday to beautiful Princess Abby. Beautiful, smart, happy birthday. May God continue to bless you. May God continue to favor you. And may you continue to shine. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
I'm coming tomorrow so we can eat a breakfast bread. They love that breakfast bread.
All right, so this is how we like to end up tonight. I want to say thanks to everyone, and they will come back. Have a good night, everyone. All of